Today I wanted to talk about Battlefield 6, where we're at so far. The honeymoon is over, weeks has passed since launch and Season 1 is released. I've spent quite some time now playing Battlefield 6, and I also tried out RedSec briefly, which is the free-to-play Battle Royale, so I now thought that we'd had a bit of a discussion when it comes to things in the game that I at least have been noticing and also want to improve and become better overall if possible. When I'm making this video, DICE and EA are looking into the challenges, and some has already changed. But they also plan more updates in order to improve them. The first set of changes, which includes adjusting requirements, simplifying descriptions, and making certain goals more achievable, went live on November 5. But what I wanted to focus on a bit more is three things that I personally feel a bit concerned about. Things that have been also annoying for me from time to time when playing BF6, and things that I might even hold back the game to a certain extent. The first thing I wanted to mention is something that has been coming up quite often recently in Battlefield threads, or Battlefield 6 threads, and that is the criticism of Battlefield 6 Recoil Center. Basically what it means is that it's a mechanic where aiming against the recoil can slow your input, which some players find counterintuitive and unresponsive. Complaints also include a perceived imbalance with attachments, which some feel can negate all recoil too easily, and concerns that weapon balance is not suited to large-scale maps due to recoil and bloom systems. I mean, recoil is fine in a shooter game. I want that, and I believe it is important, but it should be so that when you try to manually counter the recoil by moving your aim or their aim, the game's input feels sluggish or even resistant, leading to a feeling that the recoil is fighting against the player's control. Recoil should be a mechanic that can be mastered with practice, not something that becomes worse when you actually try to control it, if that makes sense. I saw that a DICE developer did answer a tweet regarding this issue, and he meant that he doesn't believe there's a bug involved, but they are looking into it even so. Because there is a significant difference between Battlefield 6 and Battlefield 2042 as an example when it comes to recoil patterns. In BF6 they are at least trying to use fixed and predictable patterns when it comes to recoil compared to the previous random bloom system of Battlefield 2042. But even if they do change the Battlefield 6 recoil pattern, there might be a problem left when it comes to attachments. Because many players do believe that the attachments are too effective, allowing players to completely negate recoil with very few attachment points, which undermines weapon progression and the intended recoil patterns. Maybe the weapon balance, including recoil and spread, was mostly designed for smaller maps, leading to weapons being limited in their effective range on larger maps compared to older Battlefield titles. Which leads me to my next topic of discussion, which is map design. Because when the Battlefield 6 beta was released, there was concerns about the map sizes, since we mostly experienced small or medium-sized maps with plenty of cluster gatherings. DICE and EA answered that there will be bigger maps at launch, but to be fair, are they honestly that big? When playing a game such as Conquest, for example, I do want the sizes of older Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 maps. It's obvious that they're, this time around, wanted to put you into the action as soon as possible, without longer distances to travel before reaching an objective and getting into the action. I mean, that can be fine, but at the same time, it limits the Battlefield experience in my book, especially if you're also someone or a guy that enjoys to pilot jets or helicopters, or tanks for that sake. I guess you might have experienced yourself the feeling of a wow moment if you've actually entered RedSec, meaning the Battle Royale. Now that's a large map, so obviously they can still do larger maps if they want to. The absence of a larger map have made the community to take initiatives to create some themselves when it comes to Portal. I mean, that's great, it's really nice to see good initiatives, but we shouldn't have to rely on Portal or wondering about in RedSec just to experience that vast Battlefield feeling of a bigger or larger map. On top of that, the maps that are already in the game aren't all that great, and when Season 1 launched, they gave us the map Blackwell Fields that I believe aren't that great either, especially when it comes to visibility. Hopefully the map called Eastwood, that will be added to Battlefield 6 at the end of November, can compensate a bit. I just wished that they would have released both Blackwell Fields and Eastwood when they launched Season 1, and then introduced a new third map in the end of November instead, because the game needs that and the community needs it. The last thing I want to talk about is also performance in the game, and I'm mainly referring to hit registration, desync, the inconsistent TTK versus TTD, and the unbearable feeling of getting shot behind corners, which is still a thing in the game, and unfortunately problems that also has been transferred into RedSec. Now, DICE and EA are aware of this, and I guess they mean that it has somewhat become better, but I still have moments when I hit my opponent with half a magazine just to get dropped by 2-3 shots. Now, when it comes to hit registration, DICE made a hotfix since certain attachments were part of the problem. Other potential causes include network problems, server-side issues, high latency, or a server-client desync, which can make it feel like shots are not landing or that players are being killed behind cover. Some PC players have found a temporary fix by disabling future frame rendering. I haven't tried that myself, maybe I will do that. I think this is one of the biggest issues, currently at least, in Battlefield 6, and it's important to talk about it, even if not everyone playing the game might experience the same thing. This has nothing to do with skill issue or anything else related to how you play, really, since the issue has indeed been confirmed by many Battlefield 6 players, some of them also being considered to be professional gamers, if you will, and also within community sources. As said, these do become frustrating from time to time if a certain percentage of the bullets aren't detected, since it might be the difference between winning or losing a gunfight. With that said, I would love to hear from you. Do you agree? Are there things that I've mentioned here that you have experienced yourself? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to talk to you soon again when it comes to an upcoming video and another topic, maybe regarding Battlefield 6 or another game. Take care now, have a beautiful day, and game on. Later.